Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-characters listener by me. So let's get into it. Tengen. Tengen never really wanted you to be in the way of battle, and that's why he would always avoid bringing you along to any places where you might be staying, where you might have dangerous missions. He does not want you to be in the way of that, and does not want to risk you getting hurt at all. But it's not like everything goes perfectly, and as such, it seems to be that there was the demon that was targeting him specifically. And so when the two of you were heading back home late at night, the demon had launched an attack at him, had noticed it, but only too late, and you were already moving to go in front of him, so you would not take the hit. The demon was sliced up in no time, due to Tengen's skill. But as for you, you were hurt severely, and Tengen crouched beside you, holding you in his arms. Wyan, Wyan, talk to me, please, dear. But you seem to be saying nothing, gasping for breath, and still no words being able to come out of your mouth. And that's when he knew he had to act fast. He immediately scooped you up in his arms and started running as fast as he can to the nearest doctor. He needed you to get treated sooner than later, because if he's late by any amount of minutes now, he could lose you completely. And that's how you awaken again by his side, your head hurting from the headache, and the spot in your abdomen where you were stabbed hurting even more as you moved. Tengen? What happened? He looked at you, and you could see that he was crying, and he wrapped you in his arms tightly. Please don't put yourself in the way of danger again. Please. He could beg you. For all he knew, he needed to right now. But he was more than happy that you were back in his arms again, breathing and awake. Muichiro. Muichiro did not know that your day would turn out to be so horrible. In fact, the two of you were supposed to be going out on a date, so it was meant to be a cheerful day, if anything. And you had just felt the ominous presence of something that you did not feel. It wasn't that you sensed the presence, but rather it was your gut, telling you that something wrong was going to happen, and that's why you were looking around frantically, with Muichiro just reassuring you that everything would be fine, and that someone earlier had patrolled the area, and there seemed to be no sign of human activity. But still, the feeling lingered, and you still felt like there was something going wrong, until it was basically confirmed by the demon that you had seen from a distance, taking aim at Muichiro's heart. You had immediately jumped in the way, trying to shield him from the arrow that was heading straight where it was meant to, and you had taken it instead, in the shoulder. Muichiro let out a shocked noise before he was immediately carrying you away, putting you into a place of safety. Just hold out until I'm back to you. I'll be back, he said, pressing a soft kiss to your forehead. And before you even knew it, he was back by your side again, having fought the demon, and came back to you. You're okay, Wyan. You'll live. I promise you, he said, but you could hear the desperation in his eyes as he held you close to him, tears streaming down his cheeks. You let out a sigh, exhausted, Muichiro, please, if I don't make it, then promise me. I won't. I won't promise you a single thing, because you'll make it. Alright? And he looked at you, begging you with his eyes, and you couldn't help but nod. Alright, I'll do my best. And you better well, because he's not losing you like that. Rengoku. Rengoku is very, very careful most of the time. After all, he has people he wants to protect, and he's used to having to protect people on the daily. So, he barely lets his guard down. But maybe it was the fact that today was a very special day for you. Or maybe just because you were smiling at him in that sweet way you always did. But he had lost his focus, and that's what brought the two of you there, to that point where you were right now. And he would do anything to go back from that. It was all too sudden, too fast for him to register. But then by the time that he did, it had all happened already. You had taken the hit, and it took barely anything out of him to end the demon. But was it really worth it? When it was all too late. He took you in his arms, not saying a single word as he looked over you, making sure you were still breathing, that you would have time. And once he knew that you would have to make it, he carried you in his arms and ran as fast as he could, pressing you into his chest, into the safety of it, and the warmth he could provide. It took 2 days for you to heal up and regain your own consciousness, and immediately he was by your side. Just what did you think you were doing, pushing yourself into the line of fire like that? I was doing what I had to. You told him. Because in reality, you would always do that. You loved him. You never wanted him to hurt. And if you ever got the choice, you would rather it be you than him. And as soon as he heard that, he'd shut you up so quickly. Don't ever say that again. My job, Boyan. My job is to get hurt for you. To protect you. Not the other way around. So please, don't endanger yourself for me. Please. Promise me. I can't do that. I love you too. Promise me. And looking into his eyes, you could see that he was not going to relent. So you nodded. I promise you. But promise me that you won't endanger yourself too. He smiled softly at you, pressing a soft kiss to your forehead. I'll promise you to try. I'll do my best. I really will. But just don't get yourself hurt for me again. I don't want that. Alright, I'll do my best.